A YouTuber named Nikocado Avocado just broke the internet with his claim that he lost 250 pounds in a mere 7 months.
I am always 2 steps ahead.
Now, a lot of the details are not yet known, and most of it is complete speculation. But in this video, I'll walk through how I think he probably did it, as well as some of the potential long-term ramifications of doing this. And if I were to go up to a maximum weight of 411 pounds like he did, what I would do to reduce the damage and make returning back to a healthy weight easier. First of all, Nikocado Avocado became popular for posting videos of what are called mukbang. That's a South Korean tradition where people eat insane amounts of food and record the entire time so that it feels like you're right alongside them, joining them in their massive meal. Most of his videos I saw were just these huge plates of noodles, but I also saw videos of him chowing down on fried meat and other ultra-processed foods. Perhaps the most interesting part of the whole story, though, is that for a while, he's been posting old videos and editing them to make them look recent. All the while, he shaved his head and has been losing weight as one giant social experiment. To further the deception, he even circulated rumors that he had a potential heart attack and that he had failed weight loss attempts multiple times, all the while he was actually losing weight. If you look in the comments of his videos, a lot of his fans were saying, "I'll get skinny when Nikocado Avocado gets skinny." And a lot of those people feel betrayed, and some of them feel inspired to begin their own weight loss journey. What are the main issues with this? Well, as Joel Green describes in his book, The Immune Code, something called fat cell remodeling occurs every time you gain weight. Essentially, the walls of your fat cells become more rigid each time you gain and drop weight. That, combined with a whole lot of other processes occurring inside cells, make your body more resistant to losing weight with each future attempt. That's right, you literally become resistant to weight loss. As a number of wrestlers and a number of other potential weight fluctuators have publicly commented. Aesthetically, you also have the issues of stretch marks and loose skin. Now, you might think he gained weight simply because he was consuming more calories than he was burning via exercise and daily living, but there's more to the story than that. When he walks through how he prepares the meals in his videos, he uses all kinds of ultra-processed foods, and those have nasty chemicals in them that act as toxins in the body. And the body's preferred way to handle toxins is to isolate them in fat cells, so they don't circulate through your bloodstream and get enlarged in your brain or other places you really don't want them. If you don't have enough fat cells, your body will create more just to sequester and store those dangerous toxins. So lots of the packaged foods and additives that he uses worsen that problem. Then you have the issue of ultra-refined seed oils. Now, those oils are already rancid by the time you get them, and the companies add all kinds of additives and chemicals to cover up the terrible smell and taste, so you get a fairly neutral oil. But when you consume those, they add insult to injury and put your body under a lot of extra cellular stress. When you fry food, you also create toxic byproducts such as acrylamide from the heating and or deep frying of starches, and something called 4-HNE, along with a bunch of other chemicals. Now, once you stop consuming these, they don't just disappear out of your body, but your body actually uses these rancid fats to build your cell membranes. And here's why that matters. You're only as healthy as your cell membranes are. And with those oils getting incorporated into your cell membranes, your cells start to have all kinds of issues. And some research suggests that if you completely stop consuming them today, it'll take 6 years for the good fats to completely replace the bad fats that make up your cell membranes. But no matter how you slice it, dropping 250 pounds in any period of time is impressive and downright incredible. Especially all within 1 year is borderline record-breaking. According to one online calculator I found, if he was water fasting, starting at 350 pounds with a goal of dropping 250 pounds, so that would put him in 100 pounds, he could drop about 45 pounds per month, all else equal. That makes it technically possible, but not very feasible, and it would have to be medically supervised. I don't think he did either. My assumption would be that he did some of the basics such as reducing his total calorie intake per day, moving throughout the day more, sleeping well because that helps control appetite as well as nutrient partitioning, making more of that weight go to fat loss rather than muscle burning, rather than breaking down lean tissue. We really have no idea how he was eating outside the mukbangs and if he was exercising at all. I would guess that he wasn't eating. It's safe to assume that he made some pretty big changes there. It stands to reason that because it doesn't look like in the videos that he has stretch marks or loose skin, that he probably had some form of bariatric or other surgery to help with the weight loss. And since we're now in the era of GLP-1 drugs, he was probably using semaglutide or one of the newer and more aggressive GLP-1 agonists to really accelerate that weight loss. Now, those have their own drawbacks, and I've written articles on those, which I will put in the description below of this video. Check those out if you want to learn more. They can be life-saving and transformational for many people, but they're not the magic bullets that they're made out to be. We also have no idea about his blood labs. To this day, even 7 months and 250 pounds down later, I'd imagine that he'll be seeing imbalanced biomarkers for years to come. So if I was going up to a maximum weight of 411 pounds and I wanted to come back down, drop 250 pounds, with minimal damage to my biology, how would I do it? In other words, what are some ways of improving fat loss in a relatively safe manner? First of all, I'd focus on sealing and healing the gut lining because that's where the core of health and weight loss and satiety and digestion and nutrient absorption, all that begins in the gut. And when you're consuming copious amounts of noodles, even if you don't have leaky gut, you're not celiac, everyone experiences temporarily increased intestinal permeability. In other words, acute short-term leaky gut. So the first thing I would do is focus on sealing and healing my gut. And to do that, I'd focus on restoring certain keystone bacteria like bifidobacteria and Akkermansia. Then I'd pay attention to my liver and focus on liver support because the liver processes everything from body fat to all the things that we're consuming in our foods and in our environment. And so when you gain a bunch of weight, you likely develop fatty liver and a bunch of other downstream metabolic dysfunctions. So using a supplement, something like Tudka, could be very helpful there. I would also take Shilajit and microalgae, spirulina and chlorella daily for some gentle and natural detoxification support. Plus, Shilajit is rich in fulvic and humic acids and is one of the top sources of trace minerals, all of which help your body better process foods and absorb other nutrients. I would use vitamin E and spirulina to help block lipid peroxidation, which is the process by which fats go rancid in the body and cause cellular stress. That's a big component of the overall health consequences of this kind of thing, as well as leading to increased propensity for weight gain. I would take a form of blood sugar support because the foods in mukbangs are all but guaranteed to spike blood sugar levels to an unhealthy place, and using an ingredient like rock lotus or berberine or dihydroberberine or vanadium or boron, InnoSlim, there are a ton of different ways to help reduce the formation of advanced glycation end products and the cross-linking of proteins, both of which accelerate the rate at which you age and the rate at which the collagen in your tissues breaks down, making you look old faster. So I'd certainly take some form of blood sugar support. There are lots of great products. Just make sure to choose one that has the clinically relevant dosages. Then I'd consider either consuming a diet that's extremely high in polyphenols or take a whole food-based supplement for polyphenols. These are a family of bioactive substances within plants and botanicals and other health superfoods that give them a lot of their beneficial properties. They seem to impact just about every bodily system out there, and they also help with buffering some of that cellular stress, as well as stabilizing blood sugar. In fact, there's one polyphenol in honey called pinosembrin, which has about 40 different applications for novel drug ingredients alone. Perhaps most important of all, though, would be something as simple as a 5-minute, ideally more like 10 to 15-minute walk after every meal. That not only stimulates digestion and peristalsis, but that also helps lower blood sugar better than any product or supplement I've come across. By the way, it's important to note that with the surgical procedures and the GLP-1 drugs, over time, especially after you go off the drugs, it's incredibly common to not only regain that weight, but in many cases to actually put on additional weight. That's it for today. If you'd like to know other ways of burning body fat, not lean tissue, but specifically targeting body fat, I'll put another article I wrote in the description of this video. Go ahead and check that out. Until next time, be an outlier.